Speaking of betting,
Yeah.
who would have bet that Bull would be 0-2 in fantasy football through 2 weeks, especially after?
And isn't Brad 2-0?
So embarrassing.
Brad's 2-0, and we have Dave Richard here now to.
Brad took
pile
Cade
on.
York in the fifth round, and he's
Dave,
2-0.
I lost to a guy who has no clue what he's doing. Brad has zero clue what he's doing. I had to set his lineup for him.
Which is true.
And because I'm the commissioner. One player, but he didn't even know he could change his lineup. Okay?
Well, he's never done this before in defense of Brad.
He 2-0.
I know. Listen, my wife, when she first started, was picking on cheap guys, and she started 5-0.
And I lost to him this week. Do you believe that? That's embarrassing. It's flat out embarrassing.
Lost. I could not stop laughing at you.
It's terrible. I deserve the criticism.
Dave, look, I think Dave is even getting a measure of enjoyment out of this, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Because you don't understand. Jay, you don't understand. It's been a decade that I've known Bull, and all I've heard about is, oh, my teams are great. I'm competitive every year.
He'll tell you.
That's my Bull impersonation. It's not that good of an impersonation.
The so-called fantasy experts never let me in their leagues because they know I dominate.
It sound like me.
No, we just forget that you're out there. We don't bring you
I
in.
want to get in one of these
We
high-stakes leagues.
did a league once, I thought.
No, we
I
didn't.
thought we did a league once.
Dave,
Oh, man, yeah. You know what we
Bull
did
been
once.
hanging with me too much. He started to talk like
He
me.
is. Yeah, but no, Dave understands it. I'll give you my Bull impersonation.
Yeah.
I'm in 15 fantasy leagues, and I'm going to win all of them.
Should you not have that expectation to win every league you're in?
Sound like
But I
me.
deserve ridicule
Of
and
course,
criticism.
but
for my
you're 0-2.
embarrassing
You're not
performance.
winning.
Dave, his
long way
quarterbacks
to
in
go.
our league were Tom Brady and Trey Lance.
It's bad.
Oh,
It's bad.
Oh, man. You got 30 ankles between those
yeah, you
guys.
can pick up Jimmy.
It's bad. I did. I think I did. No, I have Matt Ryan now. A very exciting.
Oh,
year.
well, he's killing it.
Yeah, wow.
He's
All
killing
right,
it.
so now you're on
I'm
3.
about to say,
I crapped the bed with the
Who
quarterbacks
you
here.
playing this week?
I'm playing Anthony, so hopefully I can get back on track. We'll see.
Dave, I got.
Hey, in fairness, though, even though I deserve the most ridicule, Mikey McNuggets is in dead last.
Is he?
In
He
a
would be
super
the-
flex
the
league.
No, I had the worst week in fantasy
Because
history
he's
this
0-2
week.
with the lowest
Oh,
point
yeah, your
total.
quarterbacks are abysmal.
He couldn't even break 100
I hope-
points
I
last
hope-
week in a
I
super
have Joe
flex
Burrow
league.
and Kirk Cousins as my 2 quarterbacks, and those 2 combined have 3 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
I've
this
never
year.
heard
It's
of
terrible.
anyone missing 100 points in a
It's
super
tough.
flex.
Kyle Pitts,
Yeah, that's brutal.
Juju Smith-Schuster,
Dave.
all of them. Yeah, Dave, it's embarrassing.
We're setting the bar very low here.
It is embarrassing.
Dave, I got a fantasy question.
Let's get a real question here. Go ahead.
This is
All
about.
right, let's
this
go.
is about.
Finally.
me.
Everybody
this
makes
is
it about
about
them.
me.
Go ahead.
I got 4 running backs, and I need to know which 2 to play. I got Alvin Kamara, Najee Harris, Miles Sanders, and Damian Harris. Which 2 am I playing this
Not
week?
Damian Harris.
So it's easy if Kamara's out. You'll start the middle 2.
Yeah.
Damian Harris, I don't feel really good starting him, but if Kamara plays, who'd you say? You said Kamara, you said Sanders, and you said one other name.
Najee Harris.
Najee, yeah.
Ooh.
Najee Harris.
No, should I trade him? Is that the question? That's another question.
You could, but you probably took him in round 1 or round 2.
Yeah, I think
So
I
you're
took him in
probably
one.
not going to get that back in return. Right.
Find
so
the
you're not
sucker
gonna
in the
get a
league,
first
Bull,
rounder
and trade him.
back for him.
Tyvis.
So who is the 2 I
No,
should
I'm
start?
calling
Oh, he's
you
calling
the
me the
sucker in the
sucker?
league.
I think you got to go with Sanders has been playing really well.
He has been.
Philadelphia's playing Washington. I like him. Of catches count, it's a lot closer between him and Najee. But if Kamara's out there, I think it's Kamara and Sanders.
Okay.
Dave, you were red hot with your suggestions last week. I know you said you didn't like St. Brown. You just didn't think he was going to be that guy. Oh, my goodness. I mean, if anybody was watching you last week and they claimed him because he was available a lot, this guy's been incredible.
He has been. You're talking about St. Brown on the Lions, right?
Yes,
Not St. Brown on
absolutely.
the Bears or
No.
Curtis Samuel.
He wasn't available. He was like
Samuel was the guy that I
No,
definitely
he was
recommended.
available in my league, and I didn't get him.
Wow.
Who?
And I'm
Well,
being
that-
stupid
that's-
because he was.
No, I
Tyvus'
know.
fifth
Well,
round
listen,
pick.
Who you talking about?
my league's a family league.
Wait,
so
who are we talking about?
St. Brown.
Oh,
After
yeah, that
week
was
one.
steal.
Tyvus beat me with St. Brown. St. Brown had more than half my team's
I don't know
points
why
by
he.
himself last
Yeah, he
week.
shouldn't have been a free agent in any league.
No, he wasn't my. It's a family
No.
league, Bull.
Yeah, all
No.
right, fair enough.
Who, so
I
who are you
got
guys
you. Maybe
this
you
week?
guys just don't like Lions.
Who do you want us? Who do you want us to pick up this week?
Well, I think you go to wide receiver and you just look first and foremost at what Garrett Wilson did last week. He was outstanding for the Jets, and you guys saw him at Ohio State. You know what I'm talking about. An amazing route runner, great speed, kind of made Joe Flacco a better quarterback than he actually is. And I think he can do it again this week against the Bengals. I think the strength of that Bengals defense is their front 4, not necessarily their secondary. And the Jets are just willing to let Joe Flacco let it rip all the time. So if they're going to allow that to happen, Garrett Wilson's going to be in line for a bunch of targets again, and he should be able to come through. So he's my favorite guy to pick up off the waiver wire. Right behind him is Curtis Samuel. People did not listen last week when I told you that Curtis Samuel's play. I know you did, Bull, and you're still 0-2.
No, different
but
league.
Samuel
Different league.
was this extension of the Washington run game.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to continue until at least Brian Robinson comes back or until Curtis Samuel gets hurt, because he's been known to get hurt.
It's interesting that you picked two
think you
Buckeye
just roll with
wide
him.
receivers. Go Bucks.
That's true.
It's true.
Go Bucks. All
Yeah,
right.
and don't forget about Chris Olave in those smaller leagues.
Yeah.
Now we got three.
By the way, Dave, are you a White Sox fan? I don't think I knew that. Is that?
I am. Die hard.
Oh,
That-
you was
that one
upset.
I don't want
hurt
to talk
last
about
night.
last night.
Yeah.
Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, you don't.
And you guys got
You know what?
Good.
The Guardians have had our number all year, and it's like we had to sweep this series. I'm a part of the team.
Yeah.
Had to sweep the series just to have the tiebreaker in the AL Central. And I'll tell you, man, the White Sox were so mismanaged through the first 2/3 of the season
They were.
that they deserve to be in this position that they are in. And the Guardians have played like the better team. I'm not going to be sour about it. I'm not going to make fun of you guys for changing the name or having a bunch of young players on the team. The Guardians are good, and they're the best team in the division. They deserve to win the division. So
No doubt. No doubt.
My hat is off to you guys. I hope you guys crush in the playoffs. I heard you talking before I came on about how you hope that the Yankees are you playing the first round. Who would have ever thought you would have wished for the Yankees in the first round of the AL
that's
playoffs?
amazing.
But I agree with you.
Yeah.
White
Anybody but
Sox,
the
they're
Astros.
back-to-back division winners. The White Sox took on the Astros last year, and the Astros almost.
Just killed them. Hey,
I think the Guardians have a shot.
Dave, can you trust anybody? Are you playing anybody on the Seahawks offense at all? I mean, I guess it depends on your roster, but
So it depends on your roster, and if you're talking about a number 3 receiver, I think Metcalf and Lockett still qualify. We saw it last week that Lockett can get good numbers with Geno Smith. And then Pete Carroll kind of had the nerve to go out and at his press conference and say that we think we need to give more to Geno Smith. Let him throw a little bit more. And I don't know if that's him digging in at Russell Wilson, because he never quite said anything like that when it came to Russ. But now he's going to let Geno Smith do it. It's kind of crazy to me. But those are number 3 type receivers. They're playing Atlanta this week. The Falcons' defense isn't that great. Geno Smith should have time to throw. Both those receivers can be pretty good.
Derrick Henry, 2 games. I don't want to panic. I actually don't have him in any leagues. But should fans that have Derrick Henry, you do, should they be concerned at all? He didn't look good in the playoffs last year, and he hasn't looked good so far this year. Yeah.
It's the offensive line is really a problem for Tennessee, and defenses know how to defend them. And let's be real, when they played the Giants in Week 1, the Giants still had Leonard Williams. They're a better run defense with him on the field. And they took on Buffalo. I think Buffalo's got the best defense in football right now when they're healthy. They're not quite healthy going into this matchup against Miami. You should keep that in mind for all your Dolphins players out there. But I think as the matchups get easier, and Las Vegas is certainly an easier matchup, I think you'll see Derrick Henry do great. He's one of the players that I would tell you to buy low on because he hasn't gotten off to a good start. But he still has games against the rest of the AFC South. I think he's still going to have some monster numbers. And if I can get him for the price of someone I took in the 4th or 5th round, or James Robinson, I turned James Robinson and another player into Derrick Henry. I feel like I'm winning that trade by a lot.
Probably, yeah. Yep.
Dave, we got one question from our YouTube chat. This is from Strong Cleefan. Stafford or Tua this week?
I'll take Stafford. I'm a little bit worried about Tua against that zone-heavy Buffalo defense, and Buffalo's going to get to him. That offensive line for the Dolphins isn't really that great. When he's under pressure, he does worse. And I know that he's got great receivers. He's still a top 12 guy. There's a lot of quarterbacks I don't like this week. Listen to this. I'll start Stafford over Tua, but I'll start Tua ahead of both Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
Dang.
Brady because he doesn't have any receivers to throw to. It's crazy. And Rodgers because I just don't know if his receivers are good enough to help him get great numbers. Right. Tua might have a game with 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and the Dolphins might not win. But that's good enough for fantasy, and I think that's what he could end up producing.
Thanks,
All
Dave.
right, Dave, great stuff, man. Great stuff. We'll look forward to it next week, our Waiver Wire Wednesday report
Gotta
with
get off the
a fantasy
schneid here.
expert.
When Bull's 0-3.
Yeah, I better not hear 0-3 from
You know,
you
I
next
think
week.
I think the problem is I got cocky, and I thought these guys had no chance. And I didn't work
You
hard
did.
on this draft. This was my first of my 5 drafts. I'm doing well in all my other leagues. I got cocky, and I better get out of it, or I'm going to be deserved to get crushed all the time.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Just
Thanks,
like your
Dave.
Bengals, perhaps.
Yeah.
Sitting at 0-2. Dave, thanks. We'll see you next week.
You got it, Jay. Good luck, everybody.
Great stuff. McNuggets has